Hi, Sue here from Mystic Matters. Thanks very much for joining me. If you were drawn to watch this particular video, then this is what you need to know. The cards I use are the Mythic Tarot, and they're based on Greek mythology. Okay, all right, we're starting here. Check the lighting again. We're starting here with the going on a spiritual journey. You're really wanting to learn more about the greater meanings of things, or what's behind people and their attitudes. For instance, if someone is always angry, then rather than taking it personally, look, it's the ability to understand why they're angry, and that in that way we can be more compassionate, because we understand that it's really not about us, unless, of course, we've done something to provoke the anger, but deliberately. But it's really about coming out of difficult situations with dignity, because you understand that it's not just about you. There's other things at play, so you can be a bit more flexible and lenient, a bit more compassionate with that person. This is also here is conflict, and I think this is why it's important to look at the more all-embracing reasons behind why people are acting the way they are, because this could end up with the loss of a friendship, or if you're not very careful. So looking at why people are reacting in certain ways, because sometimes with this conflict is because we haven't dealt with things we should have dealt with. We haven't been clear about things we should have been clear about, and it's all bottled up. It's a bit like a boil, it has to grow and ripen, then it bursts, and then the body can heal. But this is like it's just coming to bursting point, and it can go either way. So if you can look at, rather than coming from ego in like, well, it's not my fault, and why they're angry, and getting defensive, trying to put yourself in the other person's shoes, that will be of help. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Okay. We've got new projects here, and it can be a pregnancy, but it can be also the birth of a project, something that will need as much love and care as a physical child. It needs to be nurtured, and it's about nurturing yourself as well as other people. You do need to take some time out to yourself to listen to what your inner voice is saying, but also this is about being patient. Everything happens at the right time and not before. There's new projects here ahead of you. This could be you doing a new course of study, investing some money in that, starting a new business, but it's about new things, new beginnings on a project level. And this is really starting again. It's like looking after yourself on a physical level as well as on a material level, so saving money rather than spending it. Or it can just be looking after your diet and exercise, but it's like new beginnings. So as a quick recap, we've got here you needing to look at things in a more spiritual, more from a higher perspective, rather than getting into I'm not want to say street fighting, but I don't mean it that kind of harshly, but by fighting it with people on their own level, when nothing ever gets solved, someone has to take the higher ground, and then the healing can happen. So this is asking you to take the higher ground, to understand why people or why a particular person is being aggressive in some way or argumentative. Why have you maybe not been clear enough, so they've misunderstood you, and they expected you to do something and you, for some reason, weren't aware of that. There's all different kinds of scenarios, but it's important to take the higher ground here and act with dignity and integrity, because otherwise a friendship can be lost because there's some situation where it's kind of got to boiling point, and it's kind of all grievances, ideas, all going to be aired, and that means that some solution will be arrived at, and it can either be a healing solution where you can move forward, or it can be a breakup. So it's important that this is dealt with in the proper way. But there's new projects ahead, and you know, when you're nurturing yourself as well as someone else, as I said before, it can be you might be getting pregnant, or you might be starting a new project, but it's something that is needs to be nurtured the same as a physical child would. But you need to be patient. Everything happens at the right time and not before. So listen to what your inner voice is telling you rather than what other people are telling you, and just take some time out to yourself to be quiet, because there's new projects coming up. Could be a course of study. Maybe you're investing some money in that, and then starting something new. You could be deciding to, you know, learn about health and wellness, because this card coming after it is about looking after yourself on a physical level as well as material level. Or you could decide to do a course about finance, something that will help you to start a new era in a new way. So anyway, I hope that's been of help, and I hope to see you again sometime. Thanks for joining me. Bye.